Let's welcome to Selenium WebDriver training session 3. So I think I already covered two sessions in the session 1 and session 2. I already covered about brief introduction of Selenium WebDriver, how you can install Selenium WebDriver, how you can run your program for Chrome drivers, Chrome browsers or Firefox browser, and also what are the different element locator available in Selenium, and also how we can perform different operations for web edit box, radio button, checkboxes, right? And also what are the different API command or browsers operation available in Selenium, but those session already covered. So today in the session I will cover these four topics today. What are the how we can perform operation on a drop down box, and complete study of XPath and CSS, and how we can handle bootstrap drop down, right? So first, what is drop down, right? So if we open a particular URL here, so you are able to see my screen, right?
Yes.
Okay, so here you can see these are the drop down, right? Mobile number, right? Date of birth, month, year, country, city. These are the drop down field. And drop down field, just like the other field, right? Text field or check boxes or radio button, it cannot be selected by identifying the element, right? Because by default in the drop down, most of the drop down cases, select classes will be there, select tag will be there, so we have to use select classes. Okay, so we have to use select classes. Pavan, are you able to hear me properly, or you are still facing some problem? Hello. Yeah, you can just yeah, okay, I think everyone is able to hear me. So for
Yes,
this,
yes.
yeah, okay, for the select classes, right? There are different options available, there are different method available, right? So Selenium already provides select class that has some predefined methods for handling drop down, which helps a lot working with the drop down. So whenever if you want to have deal with drop down, and if this drop down, right, already have select tag, then we can use the, these are the method available in the select class, right? Select by visible text, select by index, or select by value, right? For selecting a particular option, if you want to deselect it, okay, you have to use deselect by visible text, deselect by index, deselect by value. And suppose you have selected multiple options from the drop down, so you have to if you want to deselect all the options, you have to use deselect all methods. Okay, in case select tag is not available, these are called bootstrap drop down. So I will, in the last topics I will cover it, how to handle bootstrap drop down where select tag is not available in the Selenium, in the web page. Okay, so here let me open a Pawan, are you able to hear me now?
Yes, yes, sir.
Okay, that's great. Okay, so let me create a class for today's session. So you know, this is the class, this is the project I already created, right? Selenium training 2020, and this is the folder structure by default will be created, and this is the package we have created, Selenium training, and these are the class already created for session 1 and session 2. So today I will create another class called session 3. So you need to right click on the packages, and then you need to create a class. So this is the session 3, and I need to select the public static void main functions. Okay, so in the last two sessions you already know how to launch the browsers, right? So these are the lines of code we need to use it. So I am not writing it because this same line of code I will be using it multiple times. So first we need to set the property for the Chrome driver, right? System.set property. Then for the Chrome driver it will be webdriver.chrome.driver. In case it is Firefox driver, it will be Gcode driver instead of Chrome, and you need to provide the path of the Chrome driver wherever it you have placed. So I have placed in my desktop, right? So I am placing the path here. So I already mentioned this last two sessions that you need to click on the properties, and here you can find the path, right? And after that chrome driver.exe file, right? And you need to give double slash, because in Selenium if you give single slash, so it will not read. Okay, you have to give double slash instead of single slash. Okay, after that you have to use WebDriver interface, and you have to create an object or instance called driver for the new Chrome driver, right? So here you can see some error messages coming, you can see in the red cross mark, right? So you need to import the Chrome driver, so you can mouse over your browsers from the Chrome driver or WebDriver. This will give you options, right, to import WebDriver from org.openqr.selenium packages, or you can click here on the error message. Here you will get the options to import the other thing, right? Chrome driver class. Chrome driver is a class, whereas WebDriver is the interface. Okay, so your driver object or instance has been created, and with that particular object you need to maximize the browser, and you need to pass the URL for the, right, whatever URL you need to open. So here I just will open that particular URL here. So this is the URL, right, where I can create my Redip account. Okay, so I already entered the URL. So if you run your code, you can see it will open the URL, right? It will first launch your Chrome browsers, and then it will maximize the browser, and it will pass the URL, and it will load that particular page. And if you want to quit the browser, you have to use quit or close method, right? Close will close the current focus browser, where in case if multiple browser is open, so you have to use the quit method. So my code is working fine till now, right? Now I have to inspect an element, say, okay, suppose country. I need to select something from the country drop down, right? Some of the drop down, okay, allow you to select and deselect, whereas some of the drop down you can't deselect it, or you can't select multiple values. So it will depend based on the drop down, right? You have to deal with multiple drop down based on your project need or requirement, right? Here only you can select only one drop down, right? But some of the drop down you can system should allow to select multiple and to unselect all the drop down values, right? Here you have to select one drop down by default, right? Right, you can't unselect all the values. In case by default will be India. Okay, so I want to first identify the properties for that particular, I mean, country, right? So you need to press F12 button from your keyboard and there is a inspect element option is there. You need to mouse over it, and you need to go to that particular, right, drop down options. So you can see that all the thing is coming here, right? You can see select tag, right? That particular option is starting with select tag. So if any option is starting with select tag, you can confirm that this is a drop down field. I already mentioned, if it is text field, right, it will be input tag. If it is a link, it will be a start with anchor or a tag. If it is image, sometime it will start with I or img, right? So that's why you can identify that this is the HTML properties. These are called HTML properties of that particular web element, right? So ID is suppose country. Okay, here I can inspect the element through ID, right? So here, as it is a drop down, you need to use some select class, right? So here I will use the select class, and I will create a local variable, right? Suppose say country. Okay, then equal to new select, and here you need to give the properties, I mean web element identifier, right? So it will be driver dot find element. So these are the different properties. A web element locator technique is there, right? You can identify through ID, class name, tag name. In case nothing is available, you have to create your own XPath or CSS selector. So I will identify with the help of ID, right? So ID is country, so I can easily identify it, right? Suppose I by dot ID and country. Okay, and you need to close it. Here you can see some error message still there, because select is a class available in the Selenium jar file, right, or Selenium WebDriver. So we have to import the select class from org.openqa.selenium.support.ui package, right? Once you import, you can see the package is coming. Whatever package you will be importing, everything will be coming here. Okay, now your variable is, I mean your local variable is created, right? Now I already mentioned here in my PPT, right? let's me enlarge it. Okay, so these are the three type of method available, right? I can select by visible text, I can select by index, I can select by value, right? So visible text, I will first go by index, right? Suppose what is the index here? So if you can see the option, right? Here index will be, it will start with 0th index India, America. Suppose I want to select Angola, right? So index will be 0, 1, 2, 3. So first I want to select with index. Okay, let's try to select with index first. Then you need to select that particular variables, whatever you have created for the select class, dot select, right, by index, right? You can see here ever index I will give 3 because it is a numeric value. Okay, now let's run the code and let's see whether that particular option is getting selected here, because by default India will be there, right? And I want to select index 3, that is 0, 1, 2, 3. I want to select Angola, right? Let's run the code and let's see whether it's working fine or not. Okay, and here I want to print output in the console that Angola drop down should be selected. Okay, so that's output I want to get it, so that I can verify it, right? Let's run the code and let's see whether my code is working fine or not, whether select option is we are able to select with the help of select by index methods available in the select class in Selenium WebDriver. So it will launch, it will pass the URL, right? So here first it will still India, and now you can change it to Angola, right? You can see here the country is getting changed to Angola, right? Country. So it is working with the select by index, and here Angola drop down should be selected, right? And in the here also it's selected. So that particular code is working fine. Now let's comment out the line of code. Now I want to select with other option. So country dot select by value, right? So what will be the value, right? So let's close it. So what will be the value? So here if you go here, right, value is 99, right? For India it is 99, right? For America samosa it is value is 3. So I will pass the value as 3 or any other value, right? Suppose I want to pass the value 8. So it will be selected Antigua and Barbuda, right? So it output will be, and here I want to select by value, it will be 8, right? And here the output will be that option Antigua and Barbuda option should be selected, right? Okay, so here some is coming, because it is select by value we have to, right, give in the double quote, though it is a numeric value, because it is select by value only for the index it will be numeric part, but here though it is a numeric part but it should be string format. That is the reason you have to give within the double quote. Select by value, or other option is select by in visible text, you need to give it within the double quote, because this is the string type, though it can be numeric but it will be string. So that is the reason you have to give into the double quote.
Sorry, just to interrupt. Why we utilizing select class in the driver.findElement by.id country?
Here new select, right? This is the select class. Using select class I am identifying that particular element first, right? And I am creating a variable. Once the variable is created, with that variable I am performing the operations. These are the methods available in the select class, right? This is the variable I am creating, where I am storing, right, the properties. Okay, and with that particular variable I am creating all the methods, whatever method is available in the select class. So those are the method I want to perform, right? So select by index, select by value, and select by visible text. So here if we run my code, you can see it will, by default it will be India whenever the page will open, and next time it will be selected the Antigua and Barbuda, because I have given the value as 8 and which is linked with that particular options. You can see Antigua and Barbuda is getting selected here, right? So by default it was India and it is getting selected. So my code is working fine. So let's close it and let's go to here. You can see that particular each and every options index, it will be 0 1 2 3 like that, right? 0 1 2 3 4 and like that, it will be incremented order. Okay, and here value will be, you can see this is string, so though it is a number you have to give it in the string, and this is the right visible text. Okay, next time after selecting the value, right, next I want to select again with visible text, country dot select. You can see all the option method is coming, right? Select by index, select by value, select by visible text, deselect all, deselect by index, deselect by value, and deselect by visible text. Okay, so these are the methods available in the select class, and other two is get all selected options and get first selected options. Okay, so these are the another method is there. Okay, so these are the listed important method I have listed here. Okay, and I will also show you the other method, which is right the get all selected options, through which we can get all the options, right? We can print out all the options. So select by visible text, and whatever visible text if you want to give it, you have to select it from here, right? These are the visible text. Suppose I want to select, say, Bhutan. Okay, so I want to select the with visible text Bhutan. Okay, and here output will be Bhutan will be selected instead of Antigua and Barbuda. And here, because it will work fast, so I can wait for some time, right? 2 or 3 seconds. Thread dot sleep. Okay, thread dot sleep. I will wait for few seconds. Suppose I will wait for 3 seconds. So 3000 milliseconds. Whenever you are using any thread class, you have to either surround with some add some throws declaration or surround with try catch blocks. So I will add throws declaration, which will be exceptions. I want to. That is the system's Java properties. Okay. So if you run it fast, and let's also select it with index also, and also here you can wait for 3 seconds. So you can see that three methods right, it will be working fine at the same time. First 3 will be option, 3 means that option will be selected from the India drop down, is Angola will be selected, then Antigua and Barbuda, and then Bhutan will be selected. So every time I want to wait for 3 seconds, so that you can see in the screen that it is working fine, right? Let's run the code and let's see whether it's behaving properly or not. So first India by default, then Angola. After 3 seconds, it will change to Antigua and Barbuda, and after 3 seconds, it will change to Bhutan, right? So it is working fine. All the methods you can see here for the select class, it's working fine, and here the Antigua Barbuda drop down should be selected and Bhutan drop down should be selected. So that way, whenever any select class is there, how you can understand? If the tag is starting with the select option, right? Suppose if you select that option, your tag will start with select option. Suppose I mean days, right? You can see that is start with select option. If you expand it, right, you can get all the options. You can see all the options and value. Okay, the value first it is day and other option. Okay, now say I want to print all the values, then how can I print it, right? So let's comment out all the code here. I want to print all the options, and how many options is there also I want to print it, right? So for how you can print it? So first you have to get all the options, right? So country, that is the variable, then get options, right? You can see get option. I already told you in the last 2 sessions, you can see the return type, right? Return type is list web element. Okay, so based on the return type you have to declare that return type, and you have to create a new variable where you will be storing all the options, right? So this is the get option method, and this is the return type, right? Whenever you will selected the get options method, so you have to return type, you have to use same way, right? List, and you need to pass web element, that is the return type. Okay, and here you need to define some new variable. Suppose I will be using country options, because it will give you all the options and equal to sign, and here you can see some error message is coming because you have to import list interface from java.util package, okay, and also you have to import web element class from the org.openqa.selenium, okay. It's done. Now if you want to print out how many option is there, SOISO, that is the variables dot, and you need to give at size, so it will give you total number of options, how many number of option is there. So if you print it out, if you run your code, it will give you the total number of options available in the country drop down. So if you run the code, it will not select anything, but it will give you all the options. It will be around 250 options. So by default it will be India, and it will give you all the options. You can see 248 option is there, and if you go to here, you can see the options will be like that only, right? There are so many pages, okay, it will be close to 248. And now if I want to print all the value here, right, how can I print it? Okay, so here I will use simply for loop here. So no need to worry right now because it will be covered in the Java, but here just basic some syntax will be there. So from the next session will be from the next Sunday. So here we will be starting Java. So after the Java is complete covered, then again I will start the remaining portion of the Selenium WebDriver. Then I will go to the framework, right? Data driven framework, keyword driven framework, hybrid framework, and TestNG and Maven and page object model, and also the last few topics will be Git, GitHub and Jenkins. Okay. So here I will be use for loop. So whenever you are declaring some for loop, you have to define integer and you have to define some variable. Suppose it will start from 0. So it will start from 0 and it will go till the options size, right? I less than the, that is the, it will go because it is starting with 0. So it will go n minus 1. Suppose in case size is n, right? So obviously it will be 1 like to n, but as it is starting with 0, so it will be n minus 1. That is the reason it is go less than, not equal to. Then again semicolon and I plus plus. Then whenever you are using any for loop, you have to give some double bracket. Here you need to use that particular options, right, variables, okay, country option dot get of I, because it will iterate the loop, right? So it will go till I, all the, it will iterate all the options one by one, right? And I want to get the text of each and options. How can I get it? I have to use get text method here, right? Get text. Okay, now it's done, but I need to store it somewhere, right? Because then what will be return type? Because these are the string, right? So return type will be string. It can be alphanumeric combination, so return type will be string. So I want to, okay, all country. I am declaring the variable as all countries or countries. Countries, right? So these are the variable I am declaring. Now if you want to print out all the options, so you need to simply use SOISO method, and you need to give that variables countries. Okay, so first I am creating a variable where I want to get all the options from the drop down, all the options, and I am storing in the list web element, that is the variables, right? And I want to get all the size, you know that options and dot size methods available in the Selenium WebDriver. Then I am using an for loop. I am iterating the for loop with 0 to till the size I plus plus. So it will iterate from all the options one by one, right? And then if we want to iterate all the option, so I can get all the option and get all the text. So I will storing all the text in the string variables, and I am simply printing it out. Okay, so if you run it, you can get all the options, and also you can get all the values from the drop down. So it is just opening the page, and definitely it is identifying the country options, and it will give you all the options, right? And also the drop down value for all the options. So let's close the browser. So you can see here, okay, I have closed by force, that is the reason it is not giving you, but it will give you all the options, right? You can see here total number of option is 248, and you can see here it is just same order, right? India, right? Americans, Samoa, you can see here it was match with all the options same by same, right? Angola, right? Australia, like that you can get all the option. So that's why you can get all the option, and whenever it's required you can use it. Okay, so that's all about the select class, and also I will cover the select, how to select the options in case there is no such select class is available. Okay, then next is what is XPath and why we need to use it. Okay, so you already seen, right? We can identify some element with the help of ID, name, okay, and class, tag, right? There are different properties available, but in case there is no such ID, name, class is available, or sometimes it is not unique, so you have to create your own XPath, right? And or see the selector through which you can identify the element. In case you are not able to identify the element, so it will not be possible for you to perform any operation. Okay, so what is XPath? XPath is defined as XML path. It is a syntax or language for finding an element on the web page using XML path expression. XPath is used to find the location of any element on a web page using HTML DOM structure. Okay, XPath are used in case no others, right, ID or class or name is found, or sometime unique combination is found. There are two type of XPath is available. One is relative XPath and another is the absolute XPath. So relative XPath we will be creating, right, for our reference, because absolute XPath you can get it, but relative XPath we should create it, because absolute XPath it will start from a particular tag, okay, and it will go one by one, it will be big, and sometime that particular option is not changed, right, somehow, so obviously XPath will not work. That is the reason instead of absolute XPath we will use relative XPath, where we will start from a particular options and there is a less chances that option will be removed or changed in the later point of time, right? So that is the syntax. Absolute XPath will start with single slash, whereas relative XPath will start with double slash, right? So we can create both basic XPath, right, in case we know the ID, name. Okay, we can create XPath with the help of contents word using or and operation. In case suppose we are not able to identify an element with a particular unique identifier, so then we will use two identifier, right, through which maybe we can uniquely identify it. Okay, so we can create our XPath with the text or start with. Okay, so here these are the syntax. First, for creating the XPath, double slash tag name, then @ any attribute name equal to, then value. In case you don't want to use the tag name, then double slash asterisk marks and @ attribute name and value. Okay, so here suppose I want to identify the full name field, right? So you need to inspect it and you need to mouse over it, right? Okay, so here you can see input, tag name is input, right? Text is, type is text, right? On blur something is there, name is something. Okay, suppose say name is not unique, then how will create the XPath? Okay, okay, so here I will create the XPath. So this, what is the syntax? I need to remember, double slash tag name. Okay, so here I will type, I will press Ctrl F, right, and I will press double slash, tag name is input, then I will give the bracket, right, this bracket you can see here, I have mentioned here bracket, and @ attribute name and equal to value, right? So attribute name, what is the attribute name? Suppose I want to go with name. Okay, so I will use @ name and here equal to sign and single inverted comma, and you need to close with, and you need to close bracket, right? You can see here, you can see 1 out of 1, that means it is uniquely identifiable, right? And if you press enter here, you can see that particular option is getting highlighted here, right? So that's why you can identify XPath. Okay, and if you want to still validate your XPath is created or not, just copy the XPath, Ctrl A, Ctrl C, right? And if you go to the console, right, you need to press dollar sign, then X is for XPath. Okay, that sign you need to dollar X, then you need to type first bracket, then double quote, and then you need to give the XPath. You need to close with inverted, close that particular with thing, and you need to close the bracket, first bracket, and okay, and after if you enter it, right, you can see your one or length is 1, right, that means 1 XPath is fine, right, and if you place the cursor to the input button, you can see it's highlighting, right. So that's why you can still verify without any tool. So that is the beauty, right, for the XPath. Okay, so let's identify the XPath here, and with the XPath I want to identify the full name field, and obviously the text field I want to enter some value here. Okay, okay, so let's comment out all the line of code here. So it will be driver dot find element, driver dot find element, and we are identifying the element through XPath, right, by dot XPath, and you need to give the XPath here, and it is a text field, you want to add some values, right, dot send keys, dot send keys. So in my last session I already covered it. Suppose my name I want to enter here. Okay, so let's run the code and let's see whether the name is getting entered or not. Okay, let's run the code. So it will open the Chrome browsers, maximize the browser, it will pass the URL, then it will identify that particular, right, name field, and it will enter the my names. Unable to locate element input name selector. Selenium no element found option is getting displayed. Okay, it is showing some error, exception in the thread main org.selenium no such element exceptions. Okay, it is not able to find the element. Sometimes some problems happens. Yes.
Aradhan, I guess the issue is about the XPath.
Yeah, 1 second. Let's check it once more. Whatever XPath I have created here, this is the XPath, right? So I need to give it with the double quote here. Did I given it the double quote? So I am giving it once more time. By dot XPath. This is the XPath expression. Okay, some problem. Space has been there, right? Okay, I will store in some notepad. Then I will give only that portions. XPath expression, and I need to close it, then dot send keys. Any error message is there? No. If I save it, it is not giving any error message. Let's run the code and let's see. No, it is still not able to identify it. Let's check with first ID in case it is working or not. By dot name. So what is the name here? This is the name. even with the name it is not taking. There might be some problem with that particular URL. I mean let you know other, I will open other URL, but first understand the concept of XPath creation, then I will open another URL and definitely where I will create the XPath and I will show you. So this is the first way for creating the XPath, and the next is, right, we can use two options here for the creating the XPath, but XPath creation is successful. Some problem is there with the page maybe. The other option is, so I already, if you know one option, so you can give it, right. Other option is, suppose if you are not able to identify with a single option, right, so you can give and word, right, and again at the rate, and you can give another option, suppose type, I want to give it type, and I will be giving the text equal to text. So you can see that still it is highlighting only one option, right, it is still highlighting only one option. Okay. So this is the another options. If you are not, if suppose say the two properties, two element locator is properties is there, and say both are unique, right, so you can use OR option. Suppose in case any properties is getting removed, still you can identify with the OR option, right, you can create the XPath. Okay. Suppose say I want to create another XPath from here mobile number field. Okay. So here if you inspect the element for the mobile number field, you can see here some name is coming, right, mobile number and some digit. So I want to create, here in type is input, right, I want to create XPath, say suppose with start with, right, starts with, because that particular name is a long number and that particular thing may be changed, because for some of the field there is some, one is dynamic component and another is static component. Sometimes dynamic component can get changed, so that is the reason you need to deal with static component. Suppose that particular number may be changed in future, okay, but that static component will be remain the same. So for those things we need to, I mean, create XPath with the start with, right. So I will use some start with. So that is the reason tag name. If you do not want to use tag name, double slash and star asterisk mark, I will remove the star as tag name. Then I will use starts, STARTS hyphen with, right, start with, and you need to give some first bracket and first bracket, and here you need to give attribute name, right. So name is the attribute, at the rate name equal to, and here it not equal to, it's comma, right, so it will be comma, and then you need to give that partial part. Suppose I don't want to give the complete part, right, so I want to give that part because it will start with, and it will be, and you need to close the bracket and close the other bracket, first bracket and third bracket, right, double slash, okay, STAR, okay, you can see. So you need to give the correct word, right, immediately it's highlighting and it is showing 1 of 1, right. So you can see here that particular element is getting visible, right, only one option. So that's why you can use starts with. Similarly, if you want to use contents, right, contents, so you need to change it with contents, CONTAINS, contents, and names. Suppose I will not use that particular all the options, I will just removing the mobile part, MO, and in I want to check with that particular word, right, you can see still XPath is creation successful. So start with, you have to give the starting part, okay, whereas contents you can give the last part, middle part, like that, which will be fixed component. So you will not give the volatile component. Suppose some of the time XPath, say it will be created like that, XX, suppose name YY, like that, where this YY and XS is the dynamic component, right. So if you try to create XPath with this thing, and it will not work in the future, whereas this is the fixed component, name only. So you have to create XPath with that particular options called contents, right, and the attribute and that particular name word. because that triple y and double x will be volatile and every time it will change. Okay, so that is the reason. In case suppose this is the option name triple y, so you will use start with name part, and this is the dynamic component, so I will not consider. And if you know the total component is fixed, so you can use it, right? Any options instead of start with or end with, you will use simply all the options, right? Then I will let you know how we can create XPath with the text. So text you already know, it will be applicable mostly for the button or for the link, right? We can create the XPath for the button or for the link. Suppose say here is a button, right? Button is there, create my account, right? So if you inspect the element, create my account, so here you can see the type is input, right? And value is create my account, right? So I will create the XPath with the text. So what is the syntax for creating with the text? So double slash, then you can use star or the input tag name, right? That will be input, and then third bracket, right? Text. So here I will be use first third bracket text text and that bracket, and here you need to give the text field, right? Equal to sign, and here what is the text? Create my account. I am giving the text create my account, and I need to close the create my account. Text equal to create my account. It is still not showing. If we give all the options, no, double slash text equal to create my account.
Text value should be in double quotes, right?
No. All the thing will be in single quote only, not the double quote. Okay. So here for the link, for the option you can't create it, but if you create for the link, right, you can still create it with the with that particular value. Okay, let me check. So here there is option link, only text value is applicable for the link or hyperlink. So that is the reason it is not allowing. So suppose this is the link, right? Term and condition. Okay. So if you use that particular text, let's see whether it's able to create or not. You can see it is allowing, right? Because I already in the last session I already let you know, right? Partial text or partial link text or link text. So this is applicable only for hyperlink or link. That is the reason we are not able to create with the text. Okay. Suppose if you want to create with that particular create my account, okay, so you have to use either name or ID, or for the value I can create it still with multiple combination. Okay, here if you want to create with value, so you have to use not the text, so it will be at the rate value equal to, let's see it is allowing or not with the value. No other part, only the value. Starts with, it is not allowing to create with that particular options. So here syntax is double slash store at the rate attribute name equal to value. It is not allowing. So I have to go with ID or other options. So type, say let's enter type here equal to submit. So you have to check by which locator value it is getting identified. SUBMIT, right? You can see it is getting identifiable. Okay. So that's why you can create your own XPath, right? With the help of contains word or multiples or AND operation or text or start with attribute. So I will maybe instead of Rediff, I will open some Facebook page. So I am changing the URL here. Let me log out. This is the text field. So I am entering the URL for the Facebook page here instead of Rediff page. I am commenting out first. These two line of code, source add block comment, driver dot get okay. Then I want to create XPath. So first I will create the XPath. I need to press F12 button here. I will create the XPath here. So what is the syntax for that particular email field? What are the properties available here? These are the properties. Suppose say name equal to email or ID equal to email. So I want to create the XPath with the help of ID. So I need to press Ctrl F, right? Then / input tag name, and then I need to give third bracket @ID equal to, and I need to close it, right? You can see only one option is getting found, right? So this is the XPath. Okay. So driver dot find element by dot XPath. This is the expression I am giving it here, and I will be performing some send keys operation. Suppose username 1, okay, and I need to close with double quote. So let's run the code and let's see with the XPath it is working fine or not. So you will open the Facebook page. And you can see it's working. Okay, maybe for the Rediff page, maybe there can be some other problem. Is can be there can be some kind of frame can be there, so you have to handle the frame in case frame is there. So I did not check it the Rediff page. I just tried to firstly. If you know the logic, so in case any frame is there, you have to handle the frame only. There is only one option. After that, it will work, right? So that's why you can create your own XPath, and once the object identification is done, it will be same operations. So what is the XPath is required in case you are not uniquely able to identify that element with the help of other locator techniques available, right? And maybe sometimes that locator is available and it is unique also, but there is a high chances that locators will not be, I mean it may get changed, right? It is not a static component, right? So we will create our own XPath with multiple options, right? Multiple attribute. So that is the reason we used to create the XPath. Okay, now say you already know about what are the different things available to create the XPath, right? So we can create basic XPath in case we already know ID, name, class names, and we can use contents, we can use and or operation, we can use text, and we can use start also, start with. Okay, in case some of the component is not completely static, then we will go for start with or contents. And whenever it is a link or hyperlink, so instead of partial link text or full link link text, we can use the XPath with the help of text. And obviously and or combination will be using whenever there is not uniquely identifiable, right? So these are the different way for creating the XPath, and how you can validate it. In the, if you need to go to the consoles, you need to press $X and XPath you need to enter it. Then you can validate whether XPath creation is successful or not, right? Then next is like CSS selector. So I already mentioned if it is not uniquely identifiable with the basic properties like name, ID, class name, we will go for either XPath or either CSS selector. Okay, but some of the project, right, they do not use CSS selector, but instead of that they use XPath. But I not, I mean, work with few of the, I mean project like where they use only CSS selector, because CSS selector creation is very easy compared to XPath. Okay, but in CSS selector some drawback is there. In XPath we can create with XPath with forward and reverse direction, but in CSS selector it is not possible. But CSS selector XPath creation is more faster, more readable, and obviously it will take less time, right? So CSS selector are string pattern used to identify an element based on a combination of HTML tag, ID, class and attribute. Locating by CSS selector is the most common locating strategy of advanced Selenium user, because it can access even those elements that does not have name or ID or class name. Okay, CSS selector is used by browser to target specific HTML element and apply style. Okay, so these are the basic benefit. It is faster, more readable, and it is used very much often. What are the basic difference? I already mentioned CSS selector is faster compared to XPath. CSS selector is easy to write compared to XPath, right? CSS selector does not allow to create a selector based on the text option. You can create XPath with text, but in CSS selector it is not possible to use text option. And XPath it is possible to traverse forward and backward direction, but in CSS selector you only can move to the forward direction, not the backward direction. So this is the basic syntax for creating the CSS selector, right, with the different attribute. So this is the tag name, you need to give it. If you know the ID, so you need to give hash and then ID. If you know the class, dot tag name dot class. If you know the other attributes, so tag name, then third bracket attribute equal to and value. So that is the simplest way, right, of creating the CSS selector. So I will show you here how to create the CSS selector. Suppose for a particular field, suppose I want to create the CSS selector for the mobile, right? So I know some of the name, right, for the mobile. Say for the mobile field I already know name. Okay, so if I know the name, how can I create the XPath? Because only an ID and class is easy, but if I know the name, so you have to use the tag name first. So I will create the tag name. So this is the input tag name, then I will give the third bracket, and then here there is no @ annotation is required, right? Name equal to, and you need to give the name here, only simple way. You need to close the tag. Sorry, input.
Sorry, can you just explain once more?
Yeah, I will explain it. Let's create the tag first. So first identify the element here. So name, right? So I will use input tag name, then name equal to, I will giving the name here, and close the tag. You can see one object ID is given in there, right? So here for the CSS selector in the XPath you already seen here in the last slide, like you have to give / tag name, and you have to give third bracket @ attribute name and value, right? And here in the CSS selector you need to simply give the tag name, right, then attribute. So no / is required, no annotation is required, and the value of the attribute, right? So I have given here the tag name, then this is the attribute name and attribute value, right? And if you want to use multiple attribute, you suppose with unique one attribute it is not able to identify, so you have to again use third bracket, and I will use that attribute as type, right? You can see the attribute is type and value is text, so equal to text. Okay, so you can see still identifiable, right? So you can use multiple attribute in case it is not uniquely identifiable. So how you can verify your CSS selector is created successfully or not? You have to go to console, right? You will here for the XPath you have typed $x and the XPath value, right? Here you will be simply type $, no x is required, and first bracket double quote CSS value, ending double quote, ending first bracket. Similar way, right? You can see one option is getting selected, right? So that is the way that whatever CSS selector you have created is correct or not. Okay. Now say I will use the other syntax, right? I will use start with tag. So what is the way? HTML tag attribute that sign equal to prefix of the string, right? So here for the creation of the XPath with that particular start with, and here in the CSS selector you have to write down, right, start with. So this is the tag name, this is the value, and here you will simply use first options, that options equal to, and you will remove the other part. So it will start with, right? Input start with tag attribute prefix of the string. Okay, 1 second, let me identify once more. Okay, instead of this thing I will go for the mobile. So this is the input tag, right, and this is the name, this is the sign, and I will go for, suppose say MOBNOE, I will type it here. Okay, I need to give other bracket one. Okay, I did not give the single inverted comma in the side, right? That is the reason it is not working. Now it is working, you can see it is working. So tag name, then attribute, then that is the sign you have to use, right, and then prefix of the string. So Ankur, any more problem, or you are able to get it?
Yes.
Okay, so that is the easiest way, right? Suppose I want to use end with, right? So here you need to change that, instead of that sign you will use dollar sign, right, and suffix of the string. Okay, so instead of the prefix of the string I will use the suffix of the string. Okay, so I will copy paste here that options. I will use dollar sign here, and I will use the suffix of the string instead of name part. I will use the suffix is 3498D, 3498D. Okay, you can see lot of things is available, right? So you have to give it other suffix, other give E34, E34. It is still a lot of options because all name field is there. Instead of that you can identify other element, mobile number, suffix part. If you want to give it, I will copy paste whole line of code, I mean whole name, and I will remove the sum of the starting part, right? You can see only one element is fine, right? Similar way, if you want to give the contents word, right, you have to use asterisk marks, right? So I will change it to asterisk marks, and here I will remove the last part also. So you can see first part is not there, mob is not there, and 8D is also not there. With the middle portion I can create it, right? So that is the another option is there, right, end with, which was not available in the XPath. In XPath it is start with the contents, but whereas end with is still there, but in CSS selector text is not there. Okay, so these are the way. Similarly, if you know the ID or class, suppose here ID is not there, okay, so I will go for the Facebook page. Here you can see ID is there, right, ID is email. So it is easy to create the XPath. Tag name input, if you know the ID, right, you need to simply give the hash sign and ID. So hash sign and ID is email. You can see it is identifying the one element, right, one of one. You can see that is the simplest way. Tag name, hash sign, ID, right? If you know the class name, okay, that is the class. So that is the class, right? If you know the class name, tag name dot class name, and you have to remove the underscore portion. Okay, you can see it is highlighting, right? So obviously it is not unique, it is two element is fine identifying, so tag name will not be possible. Sorry, the class name, it is two identifying two element. So you need to identify unique element. So whatever possible you have to try to create your own XPath or CSS selector. Some advantage and disadvantage is there in the both the XPath and CSS selector. Okay, but CSS selector is very easy to create, whereas XPath is complicated, but XPath is more reliable. Sometimes CSS selector can create problems, but XPath it will not create any problem. XPath is the proven thing. Okay. That is the basic about CS selector and XPath. In case you are not able to uniquely identify the element with the help of ID or name or other attribute, right, class or other attribute. Okay. So the last one I will cover here, how to handle bootstrap drop down in Selenium WebDriver. So in my first lectures here, you already seen, in case any drop down is there, select tag is there, we will use the select class. But for some of the drop down options, select tag will not be there. Then how will create? How will identify the element and how will, right, select that particular options? Okay. So here, if you go to that particular URL, okay, you can see this is the drop down options, right? So if you press F12 button here, F12 button, okay, it's taking some time to load the page. That is the reason F12 button is not working. So let's give some time to load the page fully. Okay. After that, if you want to inspect the element, okay, it's still working. That is the reason it is not coming here. First I want to inspect the option, right? Here you can see some class is coming. 1 second. It's still working. Okay. So you can see this is starting with span, not the class, right? So how you can see, you select class because there is no select option is available at all, right? And if you open all the other option, so also this option also is not starting with, right, select. So here you have to first click on that options. After that the list of options will be available, then you can select it, right? So how will handle it? So it is not like the select class, one shot you can select the options, right? So you have to first click on that options. Once you click it, it will expand all the options, remaining options, and after that you can identify the element and you can select it. Okay. So that is not possible with the select class. Okay. So I will show you how we can handle this kind of drop down, that is called bootstrap drop down, bootstrap. Okay. So first I need to open the page driver.get. So I will give the URL for the page. So it will open the page. Then first I need to identify that option, right? So I need to identify that option. It is starting with class, right? So I need to create the XPath for that option. So how will create the XPath? So it is span, right? You can see here it is starting with button, right? This is the child tag, so you need to go with parent tag. Okay, this is starting with button. 1 second, let me select option. Okay, this is starting with button and the class is multi select. Options, yes, 1 second. Yes, let's close the option first. Let's identify the element. Okay, you can, yeah, button and class is multi select. So I will create the XPath first. So it will be starting with button, then I will give first third bracket and then at the rate annotation, right? Or I will use contents word because multi select drop down toggles there, this is the lengthy class and sometime it will can change, right? Simply I will use contents word, contents, contents, first bracket at the rate class, I will give some comma and I will give that multi-select option only, multi-select part. I need to close first bracket, I need to close third bracket. Okay, you can see one element is getting fine, right? That is the main option is getting file. Okay, so first I need to create the XPath and I need to click on that options, right? So driver dot find element by dot XPath, and XPath expression is this, right? And I will click on that options dot click. So once it is click, then it will expand, right? Once in the options I am clicking here, then it will, you can see all the other options, right? Once you click here, you can see other options. So first you need to click, and after that you need to inspect the other options, right? So you can see it is going to other options. Okay, so you need to create XPath for the other options. Okay, so I will select another options. I need to create the XPath. Okay, so first you need to click on that options, then you need to click on the create XPath for the other options, and you need to check it. It is taking so much time, that is the reason it is not working. Okay, so here you can see this starting with UL tag, right? UL tag class is multi-select container drop down, then LI tag, then A tag, and then label tag, right? And under which there are multiple option is there, right? Called jQuery. Okay, similarly if you expand another LI, you can get other value called CSS. That's why you can get the value, right? So it is starting with the tag name is starting with UL, right? So I need to create the XPath first. So I will use UL / UL. This is the mother tag. Okay, so I will highlight here. This is starting with UL. Okay, from here it is starting. Then I will give that particular class, right? UL. Then I will give the word as contents. Then I will use @class annotation, @class, and equal to, I will give the first part because it is contents, right? Multi-select instead of complete options, equal to multi-select, and I am closing it. Okay, so no, it is 1 second, let me check it. It is starting with first button, so I need to give it button here, BUTTON. No, not button. It is starting with UL only. UL contents, CONTAINS, contents class @multi-select. It is still not identifying. Okay, US class multi-select, I can give the remaining part as well. Let's see it is working or not here. If I want to give the remaining part, /ULs. Okay, let's close it first. /UL. Okay, it is highlighting. Then I will use third bracket, then @class, then comma. I have given equal to sign, that is the reason maybe it is not working, and I need to close with that bracket. I need to close with first bracket. Okay, I did not use the contents word, CONTAINS, contents, then first bracket, then @class annotations, then I need to close with first bracket first, then third bracket, and I will remove the other part. Okay, you can see it is working, right? Okay, so whenever you will be using the contents word, so it will start with the tag, right? First it is starting with ul tag, then contents keyword, then @ class. Whenever you will be using contents keyword, it is not the equal to sign, it will be comma sign. Okay, and then you need to give that class for some of the part which is not separated by space, because whenever you are giving the class, if you use the separated space separator, it is sometime it did not take. Okay, that is the reason you have to use the contents keyword. In case it is hyphen underscore is there, you can take it, but the space separated part it will not take it, right? So I have identified the first part, right? Then I have to go to the next component, right? So this is the first component and this is the second component. So how can I go to the next component? I have to give double slash, then I have to give that other tag name li. I have to give li. You can see 14 element is being displayed, right? All the element is displayed. Then this is the next tag is a, so I will give slash then a, right? Still 14 element is being displayed, right? Then I have to give label. Okay, so that's why you have to create, so that you can see, if you enter here, you can see all the options, you can select it, right? So it will give you all the options, so you will get 14 options. Okay, so that's why you have to create your XPath for the other all the options, because this is not the unique options, these are the 14 options available here, and you need to create the XPath based on that. So now I need to identify the element, because this is the 14 options, so you have to use find element, divert dot find elements, not the element. And what is the return type? List web element, right? So I will use by dot XPath, and these are the 14 options, and here I want to store it into somewhere, right? You need to close with semicolon here, and you need to use the return type, right? List web element, and you need to declare some variable here. So I am giving here the options, right? Web or maybe output options. So I am giving the variable name as options. Okay, so here my variable is local variable is created, where I am storing all the options available here, all the options, jQuery, Bootstrap, HTML, CSS selector, Angular, Java, C has total 14 options is available, including web development, header, programming language header, and database header, because this is also option. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and these are the 4, right? 14 options available. So you can see here 14. So if you click one by one, you can get all the options, right? You can see programming language is also an option here, Java option, C has option, but definitely you can select the programming language, but you can definitely get all the options name, right? So I have created the XPath, right? Now if I want to get how many options is available from my code, right? So you need to print it out. First let's print it out, SO. So options dot size, right? Options dot size. So let's run the code and let's see whether my first that particular is getting clicked or not, right? HTML dot CSS selector is clicked or not. Once it is clicked, so here I have written the code for clicking, right? So it will first click after opening the page. After that all the options will be visible. Then I have created my XPath, and I have used the find elements, and I am storing all the options in the list in right interface web element, and I am first printing the options. How many options is there? Size. So if it is giving me correct output, then I will go to select for the any of the checkbox, though it is a right drop down, which is Bootstrap drop down, not the select class drop down. So it will open the page first. It will take some time, it will take like 30 seconds to 1 minute time to load the page completely. Until the page is fully loaded, right, it will not click the options. it will take some times to load full the page because it is a jQuery page. So if you know, right, to deal with the jQuery page, it is takes some times because of lot of other options. I mean different things available in the page. So until the page is fully loaded, it will not work. So that is the reason whenever you will work with the jQuery page, any kind of jQuery page, it will takes more than the expected time for the other web page compared to other web page. Is still working? Once the page is completely loaded, you can see still the cursor is working, right? So it is still not loaded. Once the page is fully loaded, then it will click on the options and it will try to get how many options is there and it will give you the correct output, 14. It should give you the 14 output, right? So it is still working. It is taking like more than 1 minute, it seems. Okay, now it's ready, close to ready. Still working. Especially this type of bootstrap actually available in most of the jQuery pages only, but in for the normal drop down, definitely select class will be there. Okay, you can see it's working now, right? So by default HTML and CSS is selected here. Okay, so it's clicked. The options HTML CSS drop down has got clicked finally, right? Okay, and you can see by default HTML and CSS selector is selected here. If you unselect it, you can unselect, and if you want to select other thing, you can still select it. So now I will write down the code to select the other options. Okay, so let's close the page and let's see the output, whether it's giving you the 14 count, right? Okay, you can see the output is coming as 14. So my code is working fine, the 14 is working fine, right? Now say if I want to select few option here from here, right? So what are the options available? By default HTML and CSS is selected. Suppose I want to select Java or Python. Okay, so I will simply use the for loop, right? So here I will use some for loop. For integer I equal to 0, I less than options dot size, it will iterate I less than options dot size, options dot size, then I plus plus. Okay, this is the for loop I will be using here, and if you want to use the for loop, you have to start with second bracket, right? Then in the for loop, right, if you want to print all the options, you can still print it. So you know, right, that options name, then dot get of I, and then get text. Now I want to select Java and Python. So how I can select? I will use if loop. If options dot get of I, right? If it is matching, get I dot get text. First I will get the text of the option after iterating it one by one. Then dot contents. Okay, if it is contents, I will use the exact word here. You can see here option is Java, so I need to use the exact word Java. If it is contents with Java, then what will happen? Okay, then I will give you another bracket, second bracket, then what will happen? Options will be selected, right? So options dot get of I will be selected, means dot click, and I can print some output here, right? If I want to print some output, SYSO. Suppose Java will be selected. Now if you want to select again Python, so you have to use another loop here, if loop, but it will be within the for loop only, right? Because if it outside the for loop, there is no point, right? So if I will use another option, if it is content with Python, it is matching with Python, so it will be selected, it will be clicked, and here output will be Python, and here you can terminate the loop. But if you terminate the loop here, so the next option it will not check, right? How you can terminate the loop? You need to use break statement. Okay. But here if you terminate the loop, that it will not check the next of the if loop. But after you check all the options, you have to terminate the loop so that it will not check for the other options. So let's run the code first. After that, I will again explain it, because it may be difficult for you to grasp it, because it's complicated. It's not so much easy. Okay. So let's run the code and let's see whether there was two options by default selected, so that will be there here, HTML and CSS. Apart from that, I want to select Java and Python, right, from the bootstrap drop down. So it will select. So first runs the code and let's see, because it will take some time, like it is 1 to 2 minutes time to load the page fully. So it will open the page, and then it will click on that options. So it will take 1 minute time. After that, when the option is clicked, it will try to identify all the options, and in case it will reiterate all the options one by one, right? It is starting from 0. For loop, it will start from 0 and it will go till the size, right? Size less than size means 13. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 13 means total 14. Time it will iterate. And first it will try to get the text. Okay. In case with the if loop, if the text is matching with Java, immediately it will click it. Okay. But it will not come out. I did not mention the break statement in the first if loop. And after that again I have written a if loop where it will check again the text with Python. In case it is matching, it will click on that options, checkbox, and then it will break it out, and it will not iterate. So it will first click on that HTML, CSS drop down. Then once drop down is clicked, it will give you all the how many list of options is there. It is 14 option is there, and as there is a 14 option, it will start iterate with 0 to 13 one by one. And in case it is matching with first Java, it will check the checkbox, and once it is matching with Python, it will also check the checkbox. But initially 2 checkbox was there by selected default, so that will be still there. And if you want to deselect by defaulted thing, you need to again check it, so it will be deselected. This is the property of they have already selected that this thing will be defaulted, so it's still opening. So if you open, if that particular page is open, that option is open, it will select another 2 options apart from by default 2 selected options, so it will be Java and Python. It is still working. It is taking more than 1 minute. Okay, I think it is now. It will click on the drop down, then it will try to select the option Java and Python. So that's why, in case any kind of bootstrap option is there where there is no select class available formally, you have to go with li or ul tags, and you have to create your own XPath with the help of ul and li tag. Okay, and then you have to get all the options. You have to iterate with for loop, and then you can select or unselect the options from the list. It is still working. Okay, now you can see Java and Python is getting selected. Java is selected, no, Python is not selected.
Harkan, Python will not be selected because there is a spelling mistake in
Okay, that's fine. Okay.
that's why it's not being selected.
Okay. Oh, sorry. Okay, that is also condition, right? You can check it. because the spelling mistake, it is not matching with that option, right? So it will not be selected. So if you want to unselect it from the option HTML or CSS, so you can write here the CSS, so it will be unselected, right? And in the output you can see, because that is not selected, that is the reason it is not going for the if condition, right? And that option is not getting printed in the output, right? Only Java will be selected option is coming. Okay, that is the beauty. In case it is not matching first if condition, it will not click any of the operation. Okay, suppose if you want to deselect CSS, so here you need to use CSS, so you have to use CSS will be deselected. So if you run it, it will simply deselect CSS and Java will be selected, and definitely another one option is there, right, which is HTML will be there. So HTML and Java will be there and CSS will be unselected, right? And if you suppose say if you use the break statement before, okay, so what will happen? Can anyone tell me? I already mentioned, right, what will happen? So initially I did not make the break statement here, right? But if we mention the break statement here, so it will not go for the other if condition, because immediately for loop will break here. So how many condition you are giving, that it does not make any sense. So that is the reason under a for loop, if you want to make multiple if loop, so you do not use, no need to use the break. Instead of that, you can still use in the last if loop, if condition, the break statement. So if you use the break here, so it will not be considered, that loop will not be considered. Okay, so Ankur and I think Pawan, you get it, Ankur and others. So are you able to clear, get it out properly? So in the meantime, I have tried to explain the code, right? So is it possible to you grasp the thing, or still I want to read all the lines of code again and each and objective of each and every lines of page? So you know the basic syntax, how to create the XPath first, right? So with the help of this thing, you have to traverse in the forward axis or reverse axis to create the XPath, in case you are not able to uniquely identify the thing, right? So here you can see here it is starting with UL tag, right? First with UL tag. So I need to give the tag name UL, right? It is starting with UL tag. You can see here, if you select, so it is starting with UL tag. UL, then I want to use the contents keyword and class, and I want to give the class name before the space, right? So multi-select hyphen container, because if you give the space, it will not consider, it will create some problem. Then you can see there is no such option is there, right? Under the UL there is a li tag, so I have given slash, then I have given li, and under the li there is a tag called a, I have given the a. Then under the a, right, there is a tag called a label, right? So that is the end tag, right? After that you can see this closing, right? Label is getting closed, a, and then li is getting closes. So till that label I have to go, because in the label only the value is there. That is the reason I am going to that label and I am creating the XPath. And before creating the XPath, I have to create the XPath for that option also. And after that I have to click on that options. Once the option is clicked, I have created the XPath, I can get the 14 options. Once the 14 option is there, I will get the size, and then I will reiterate a for loop where I will give some condition. In case the text is matching with something, or maybe I can give some other condition, right? Ignore equal case, like that. Okay, so I can give any other condition here. Suppose here instead of contents, if you want to use some other part, you can still give it. Dot equal ignore case, right? You can give it equal ignore case. So suppose here I am giving Java, or Java doesn't make any sense, it will still remain the same, because you are using that particular method equal ignore case. So it will ignore. You no need to give the exact Java name. So that's why you also get it. And here if you use, so here, right, I am storing all the options because it is an option. So I am using find elements. So first I am using identifying with the find element. I am clicking on that options. Then I am using find element, and obviously return type is list web element. So I am storing it in the variables. Then I am iterating a for loop, and in the for loop, right, I have to use some if condition. If the condition is matching, it will check, it will uncheck, like that. So you can give a number of if condition under the for loop. You can select, unselect, like that. So that's why you can select any kind of bootstrap drop down where no select class is available, only li and ul tag is available. By virtue of this tag, you have to create your own XPath, and before creating a XPath, you have to click first option, and after option is clicking, drop down is clicking, you will get all the sub options and you can select it. But this is also called select because this is select drop down, right? This is also select drop down. Okay, and I already given you the complete overview of how to create your custom CSS and XPath, and also I have showed other example how to go to the forward directions, and in case multiples like header, child tag is there, so you have to go to the forward direction and you have to create your XPath, customize XPath. Okay, so that are the different topics covered for today's session. Okay, so first I have covered how to handle drop down in case select tag is there. So you have to, you will get different methods available in the select class, like select by visible text index, right, value by deselect by visible text, deselect by index, deselect by value, deselect all, or get options. So if you want to get all the options, you can get it, and if you use some for loop, you can print out all the options. Then XPath, in case you are not able to uniquely identify with the help of ID, class, and like tag name, so you have to create your own XPath where you can, right, use some basic XPath. You can use contents, and or operation, text start with, but end with is not there in the XPath. Okay, and you can also go to the forward and reverse direction to create your own XPath. And if you don't want to deal with CSS only, so you can also create CSS selector, because CSS selector creation is easy compared to XPath, but some drawback is still there because you can't go to the reverse direction or you can go to the forward direction only. But CSS selector is faster. Okay, and text is not possible to use the text, but end with another option is available in this CSS selector, start with, end with, contents. And obviously you can create CSS selector with the help of ID and class, which is very easy. Only tag name, hash and ID, and tag name, dot, and class. And if you want to use multiple attribute, you have to use like third bracket for the multiple attribute. Each and every attribute you can give 4 attributes here. It will not be a problem, still CSS will be valid. And another one is like how to handle bootstrap in case select tag is not there, only the element is only visible with li and ul. So you have to create your own XPath, customize XPath. First you have to select that, click on that options. Once you click on the drop down, the list of other sub element will be visible, and you have to iterate with for loop, and if condition you have to given, then if based on the condition you can select or unselect the by default or other options. Okay, so that's all for today's session. So any questions is there, so you can ask me so that I will try